So most of these older retirees that we're going to talk about in this video, they didn't have the same opportunities as we do for early retirement. No, because back then, most everything was based on a pension, which was based on age, right? They had to work so many years into so far to go ahead and get their full pension and their Social Security. So today, we have more of an opportunity because of the 401k, 403b, the IRAs, to go ahead and generate wealth at a little younger age and retire. We have more of a freedom to retire when we want to retire. Now, that's not saying that everybody has those opportunities, but many of us did and many of us do, to go ahead and retire in our early 60s or even in our 50s. And if you're part of the FIRE movement, you may be trying to retire in your 40s. So I really do hope you're able to do that. I wasn't. I had to wait till I was 61. But the number one regret that most retirees have is that they couldn't retire sooner, or they didn't retire sooner. A lot of people went ahead and, back in the day, they went ahead and they worked until their health or other problems came around that made it to where they couldn't work anymore. So many of them wish that they had retired as soon as they could. Now, number two is a little bit odd, but they wish they had spent more money in their early years of retirement. Yeah, they wish they had spent more money in the earlier years so they could go ahead and work those bucket list items down. I would like to think that my bucket list will be all the way worked off by the time that I kick the bucket, but I really don't think it will be. There'll probably be some things, and there are things that I'm adding into my bucket list as I go. If your plan affords you to be able to spend more money up front and, work at getting those bucket list items taken care of, maybe that's something you want to think about rather than saving in the early years. And I know it's hard. I know I just retired not even a year ago, and it is so hard for me to spend money. Doing a pretty good job of it, but it's really hard to think about, a $10,000 European vacation, and that doesn't cover much. That's a pretty short vacation if you're going to Europe. So it's hard for me to think about doing things like that. Okay, and number three is taking better care of your health. And I know that's tough. I'm as guilty as anyone about eating too much salt, having too much sugar intake, but taking care of your health is really, really vital to having a good retirement. And, I had this incident with my head, which kept me pretty much sidelined for about 3 months of my first year of retirement. And, not being healthy is no fun at all when you're retired, because you don't have a lot to look forward to other than just getting up every day on the right side of earth, on the right side of the big ball is about, what you're looking at. So for me, I think the key to staying healthy is having an active lifestyle. And having an active lifestyle that involves, hobbies like golf, pickleball, something like that's going to get you up and keep you moving. Gardening is a good one. Woodworking, anything that's going to get you up and get you out and moving around a little bit is really going to help benefit you being healthy in your later years. So number four is wishing that they had a hobby other than watching TV. Yeah. Americans love their TV, and we love to watch TV, and I'm very guilty. So one thing that I do is I try not to watch any TV other than, when I take a break for lunch or something like that, I'll watch some news. But I try not to watch any TV until 4:30 in the afternoon. And that, so far, that seems to be helping out quite a bit in that not watching a lot of TV. Although my wife and I are keeping ourselves pretty busy and lots of things to do and lots of places to go. So far we're doing pretty good. But finding other hobbies like, say, woodworking, photography, gardening, cooking, all sorts of hobbies that you can do to keep yourself from sitting down in front of that TV at, 8 o'clock in the morning, and next thing you know, it's noon and you've watched all the daytime TV you want. So go ahead and get some hobbies. Now, right now, my biggest hobby and what keeps me the busiest is this YouTube channel. And I'm having a lot of fun doing it, because you've got to script all these things out, then you've got to film them, then you've got to edit them and post them and do all that. So it takes pretty much a couple, 3 days a week to go ahead and do these 3 videos. But I see myself later on getting more into photography as I get older, because I really do enjoy photography and anything to do with the camera. All right, number 5 is traveling before the age of 75. Yeah, right now at 61, my wife and I, we can pick up and go pretty much as we please. We've got the biggest problem that we're having right now is because I have so many doctor's appointments and CAT scans and things like that because of my head injury, that we're having a little bit of a hard time traveling just because of that. But here in the near future, as a matter of fact, yesterday I went to my last doctor's appointment for my head, and I am now fully released. So now pretty much all I have is just my cardiologist and some other things that I got going on. And we'll go ahead, by the first of the year, we should be pretty free and clear of doctor's appointments and be able to do a lot more traveling. But traveling before the age of 75, because after 75, apparently it becomes a lot more difficult. And I could see that. My wife and I, we love to travel by either in our motorhome or in our car. And, once you get to be that older age, the eyesight becomes a problem. Driving at night becomes a big problem. And, so I could see where trying to get all your traveling done before you get up into your mid-70s is probably a wise choice. And number 6 is not downsizing their home early enough. So a lot of people, they wanted to keep their bigger house that they raise their family in because, their kids are going to come for the holidays and things like that. But along with that bigger house comes a lot more maintenance. And, normally that bigger house has a bigger yard. And the bigger yard can be a real problem when you get older to take care of. The other thing is maybe it's the location. Maybe you held on to that house in Wisconsin or Minnesota or something like that, rather than moving to a warmer climate in your older years. So those are things to think about as well. And another thing with downsizing their houses was they could go ahead and take that cash infusion because they had so much equity in that bigger house when they downsize, and use that for travel and living expenses. Again, if you're waiting until you're 75 to go ahead and do that downsizing, it could be a problem for using that extra money to travel. Now, another thing you want to think about if you have a 2-story house, if you're having to climb up and down those stairs, rather than getting one of those chair lifts that go up and down the stairwell, you may want to consider downsizing your house because you won't be able to climb those stairs forever. All right, so I hope this video's helped you out some, and if it has, I'd appreciate it if you'd reach down, hit that like button, and watch this video next.